The Upside Down Tomb. November 24th, 2009, night before Thanksgiving. John Jones, a 26-year-old medical student, starts exploring Nutty Putty Cave with his brother, Josh, and a few friends, leaving behind his pregnant wife and their first child with the Joneses family. Nutty Putty Cave is a maze of tunnel, with names that should have been warnings. The Scout Eater, the Birth Canal. And the birth canal is a tight squeeze that opens into a small room where you can stand up and turn around. John enters the tunnel that undulates up and down. Outcroppings of rock force him to twist his body, shoulder first, then hips, then legs bent at weird angles. This section is called the corkscrew, and only small, flexible cavers have made it through. Previously, a 16-year-old boy, Brock Clark, the size of 5 foot 7 inches and 140 pounds, was trapped at this area for 14 hours before rescuers managed to save him. And John is 6 feet tall, 200 pounds. He keeps going. After the corkscrew, he reaches a ledge with a sharp 90-degree turn. He squeezes over the top of it. Below, he can see what looks like an opening. John sucks in his stomach and pushes forward, pulling on rocks ahead of him. The tunnel angles downward. He is nearly doing a handstand now, arms straining to hold his 200-pound body against gravity. He sees a small hole in the floor ahead, thinking it might lead to a larger space, maybe the birth canal. He slips into it, head in, and the walls close around him like a fist. The hole is roughly the size of a microwave door, and John is wedged at a 70-degree angle with his arms pinned uselessly at his sides. He tries to push himself back up, his legs trash. Nothing moves, the rock has him. Josh comes after him through the tunnel minutes later. All he can see are John's scalps and feet sticking out of the floor like the cave swallowed his brother whole. He grabbed John's leg and pulled. John moves an inch, then slides right back. The tunnel is tapered. Every movement settles him deeper. "Go get help, brother," John says. For the next 3 hours, John hangs upside down in the dark, alone, focused on the simple task of breathing. Because the fissure is so tight it squeezes his chest. Only shallow breaths are possible. The first rescuer reaches him at 12:30 a.m. She's a 5 foot 3 inches, ropes tied to her ankles in case she gets stuck too. She checks on John, ties webbing straps around his legs. "We're going to get you out," she says. John feels a wave of relief. Professional help. Finally. They pull on the ropes. Nothing. His body won't budge. They need a pulley system, the same system that rescued Brock Clark out. And here's what's happening inside John's body while they set up the pulley. When you're upside down, blood pulls in your head. Your heart, designed to pump blood up to your brain, now has to pump it down against gravity. It's not built for this kind of pressure. Your lungs start filling with fluid. Your organs press against your diaphragm, making each breath a battle. Toxins build up in your blood because of poor blood circulation in this upside-down position. The doctor on scene estimates John has 8 to 10 hours before his body shuts down, and it takes until 4 p.m. the next day to get the pulleys in place. John has been upside down for nearly 19 hours. During that time, he drifts in and out of consciousness, hallucinates, trashes his legs against the rock. The warm, damp cave air is slowly losing oxygen around his trapped body. They bring down a phone line. His wife Emily speaks to him. Tell him to hang on, be faithful. "I'll be out with you soon," John says to assure his wife. The pulley system is finally ready. A rescuer squeezes into the tunnel and they pull. John's body lifts. It's only a few inches when John screamed with excruciating pain as his legs were blue and his nerve system was hypersensitive. "Stop! Stop!" They paused. Let him rest, then pull again. After the difficult, painful third pull, John rises high enough for the rescuer to look down and make actual eye contact with him for the first time. His face is red, eyes bloodshot. But he's smiling. He can see the end of this nightmare. One more pull, and he's almost out. They pull. Then the anchor bolt ripped out of the pulley and hit the rescuer's face and lip, and he went unconscious. John slides back into the hole deeper than before. They pull out the rescuer and send in another one. He spends an hour trying to tie a rope around John's torso. John doesn't respond. His body has finally given up. After 27 hours upside down, his heart can't fight gravity anymore. At 11:56 p.m. on November 25, 2009, John Edward Jones was pronounced dead. They couldn't get his body out. Nutty Putty Cave is now John Jones's permanent tomb. There's a plaque at the surface. His wife never got to bury him. His daughter will never visit his grave. What a tragedy. And if you don't want Chatty to crawl into your recommended feed uninvited, you should probably hit that subscribe button now. Just saying. The Eternal Exhibit. This is Floyd Collins,
Good morning.
37, lanky, fearless. Been exploring caves since he was 6 years old. Floyd makes a deal with a landowner. There's a cave on his property called Sand Cave in Kentucky, just 100 yards from the highway. Floyd research shows a chamber made of pristine white gypsum crystal inside this cave. And they were to split the profit from cave tourism upon discovery. For months, he crawls in alone, removing stones 12 hours a day. Every visit, he has to suffer cuts and bruises while dragging himself by hands from a section called the Squeeze, a hole that is just 9 inches tall, about as thick as a dictionary lying flat. On January 30th, 1925, he finally reaches the crystal chamber, first human ever to see it. Untouched, grand, and beautiful. His kerosene lantern starts dimming while leaving, and as he moves faster, it slips from his hand and shatters. Total darkness, 60 feet underground. He keeps crawling by memory. Unknowingly, his foot kicks a loose stone from the cave wall, and a 12-kilogram rock falls onto his ankle. He screams in pain as he tries to kick the rock off. Rumbles of rocks start falling, piling on top of him. He's trapped from his chest downward, sharp rocks piercing his back as he screams and chokes from the dust. Ice-cold water drip onto his face. One drop every few seconds. Same spot, hour after hour. He screams for help into the darkness. For 23 hours, no one hears him. The landowner's son, Jewel Estes, a teenager, finds him the next day as he knows Floyd went caving previous day and did not return. Jewel heard Floyd's shout coming from the squeeze hole, who then requested him to call his brother Homer for help. It was 38 hours when Homer crawled through the squeeze, torn up by rough rock to reach Floyd. He then works upside down for 8 hours, scooping rocks with a tin can, hoping to help release his big brother from the piles of rocks. Every rock he removes, more fall from above, more pain for Floyd. It's useless, and Homer is exhausted. He continues to feed Floyd with warm coffee, sandwiches, and tablets that will relax his muscles and reduce his pain while waiting for more concrete plans from the authorities. At 71 hours, a reporter named William Miller crawls in and interviews the dying man. His article turns Floyd into a national sensation, and it becomes the third largest news event between the world wars. Lieutenant Robert Burden, a firefighter, came for the rescue at 79 hours. His plan was to pull Floyd out by tying him with a rope. All 3 men, Homer, Miller, and Robert, hold the rope with 3 more men behind the rope who were helping to pull Floyd. As the 6 men pulled, Floyd's torso was pulled directly upwards and against the ceiling of rock above him, and he was screaming in pain, begging them to stop. The cave has won this tug of war. At 119 hours, the passage collapsed. The route to Floyd is sealed forever. Only option, dig a new shaft from above, 55 feet straight down. They calculate it takes 30 hours to get near Floyd. Someone rigs a light bulb to Floyd's collar for warmth before the collapse. An engineer connects the wire to a device that detects his breathing. For days, they watch the readings. Floyd is still alive. Then, the readings stop. On day 17, 408 hours, the shaft breaks through. Homer crawls down with a torch. Floyd's mouth was open. His gold tooth glinted. He's dead for 3 days. If they'd arrived 3 days earlier, he would have lived. They couldn't remove Floyd's body as the cave was unstable, so they had to seal it. 2 months later, Homer and some friends dug Floyd out and buried him on the family's property at a hillside over Great Crystal Lake. The family renamed it Floyd Collins' Crystal Cave. Then Floyd's father sold their property to a dentist named Harry Thomas, where the contract included everything on the land, including Floyd's body. Thomas dug up the corpse, put it in a glass coffin, and displayed it inside Crystal Cave as a tourist attraction. For years, visitors filed past Floyd's mummified body, peered through the glass, and moved on to see rock formation. 2 years later, the body was stolen. Found in bushes days later, missing a foot. The same foot that got him trapped. Never recovered. In 1961, Crystal Cave was purchased by Mammoth Cave National Park and closed to the public. The Collins family had objected to Collins' body being displayed in the cave, and at their request, the National Park Service reinterred him at Mammoth Cave Baptist Church Cemetery, Mammoth Cave, Kentucky, in 1989, 64 years after his death. That Floyd Collins was finally given a proper burial. He spent more time as a tourist attraction than as a free man. May he finally rest in peace. Adventure is beautiful. If you love exploring, explore smartly. Hit the subscribe button if you are smart. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Chatty and I'll stand by you always.